My name is Sabrina van Schoor. Everyone thinks my life is such a breeze. Because I'm rich and well known in the town I live in, they are wrong. I've had a hell of a life and I haven't even reached a quarter of a century.
A prominent Queenstown businesswoman has been found stabbed to death in a home. Police spokesman Batandwa Dada says the body of 49-year-old Beverly van Schoor was found by her daughter Sabrina after 7 o'clock this morning. Dada says Sabrina had received 3 phone calls to her work, which kept disconnecting.
I was in the shower the morning when the nanny of my children came in, shouting that there was a problem. And I could hear this wailing and screaming, and I dressed quickly and ran across. Sabrina was in the street on the pavement with her baby, hysterical. And something had happened to her mother.
And my phone rang, and it was Sabrina, and she just said to me, "Auntie Val, you must come quickly, something's happened." And I said, "What?" So I said, "Is it Tatum?" And she said, "No, it's not." I said, "Well, what? What's going on?" And she said, "It's Mom, something's happened."
It was Sabrina, and she was hysterical over the phone. She was in tears, and she kept on repeating, "My mother's dead."
They say she need. Me Sabrina say haar ma is dood.
En ek is in die huis in. Ek het Beverly aangetref waar sy gelê het en ek het die polisieman daar gekry. En onmiddellik het ek geweet wat het gebeur.
And I just felt it shouldn't actually have happened. It shouldn't have happened.
This was the last birthday card Mom gave me. To my darling daughter, our lives have not been easy, but I would not change you for any other person. I love you and I know I don't tell you often enough.
Sabrina was confronted by a man armed with a knife who demanded the keys to her car.
She parked here and then the suspect came out of the house and pulled her out of the vehicle and threw her down on the ground there.
Sabrina then entered the house and found her mother's body.
She gave a clear description of Faisal. He wanted to throttle her at first to kill her that way. He slit the throat from here to here. It looked like a house burglary that went wrong, but he must have seen that wallets and things there.
First, I bought a daily dispatch that Saturday. We were there at Ultra City. I think it was the first time that I saw him being interested in a newspaper. You know, we bought the newspaper and he's the one who showed me this article where this Van Schoor was killed. But I didn't know this Van Schoor and whatever, and I didn't even bother myself to look at the newspaper. But what attracted me is that this thing happened here at Queenstown.
Queenstown's a very historical town.
Queenstown comes from Queen Victoria.
When we were at school, we taught a lot about the hexagon.
Hexagon was the defense mechanism. The whites were pushing across the Kei and slowly but surely displacing the people from their land. So it was a big area where the townsfolk could be collected together and protected from the causes at that time.
Most of the people are very much proud if they are staying at Top Town, you know. Most of business people are staying here, like the doctors, a lot of attorneys, but most of white people are staying here, those who are rich. I think if you are desperate for money, you can do whatever.
For the day of the funeral, all of us held hands, my 3 brothers and I, and their wives. And we prayed that they would please arrest the person that had done this. We had a big photo up in the front of the church of Mum because she was being cremated. And there was no way we could let her body be shown. Mum, we did everything together. Now I'm alone with my baby and I realize how much I took for granted. I love you dearly and will always miss you with all my heart and soul. The night after the funeral, my brother phoned the police and they said no, they're busy arresting the murderer. Everyone was excited and that's when I went pale.
The moment he spoke about Sabrina, or mentioning Sabrina's name, we knew, even before he said anything else, we knew what was going on there.
So into eyenzeka bayena amapolisa ayangicela uba noma ndifoneleke uSabrina ndithi ndifuna imali amapolisa akhangela mna apha in-town ayandifuna amapolisa akhangela mna so ndifuna imali yokubaleka ndisuke phaa kwaphaa eQueenstown.
Feza phoned me at 3:30 in the morning asking me for money.
Hi, this is Sabrina. I'm not available at the moment. Can you give your name?
Sabrina, Sabrina, I need to cash money. If you can deposit, please, it's okay. Go over there. Please, Sabrina.
We actually wanted to come out at 3 o'clock that morning when she was phoned to arrest her. But we didn't want to go and arrest her at the house. We wanted to make sure that she hands over the money.
We were having a cigarette in the doorway with our coffee and stuff, and then she said no, she's going to go out quickly and get the wages and stuff. So she left and she never came back.
Hello?
Sabrina?
Yeah.
Yeah, where can I meet you?
This is the garage. At the wall, that is where the meeting took place, where Feza was handed the 3,000 rand by Sabrina. I said, did Sabrina be arresting you for the murder of your mother? I said, no, Steve. No, she was still calling me Stefan at that stage.
Sabrina, do you know how you did give the cops the right description? That is why the cops didn't come to me.
Steven? Do you know how bad I feel, Feza?
Yeah.
I killed my mother.
In a surprising twist in the murder of Queenstown businesswoman Beverly van Schoor, police have arrested a daughter in connection with the matter.
She asked me I must please defend her in this matter. That was the first time that I saw Sabrina. She was crying there. This is a black township. You say?
Ek het niks gesokol by die beven. Soos ek sê vir my, nee mem, ek soek daai ding. Jy moet vir my daai goede gaan koop. Sy sê, nee ek, jy moet self gaan koop. Toe vra ek, waar is die geld? Toe sê die, gaan koop.
When I heard that the late Beverly was a racist, I said to myself, yes, it would be very much important for me to take this case. That is the colored area, but there are also black people who are staying there.
When I was young, my mom always used to tell me I was ugly. And my brothers always used to tell me I was fat. And nobody would love me and nobody would care for me. And when I became friends with the coloureds, they accepted me as I am. They didn't care whether I had money or I had no money. They didn't care whether I was fat or thin. They didn't care if I was pretty or ugly. I was Sabrina to them. And I had a heart. That's all they wanted from me.
Most of the coloured people knew her because they used to have this indoor cricketing. And then when the people used to go there, the coloured guys, they like used to get like alcohol for free. And I just used to go there with my friends to go watch them play indoor cricket.
Janine and I became very close there. That's where we first met, was at the cricket. My mom and I shared Lady B. And then Janine started working for us. That's where our friendship started.
And the cricket has changed completely. It doesn't look nothing like the way it used to.
In there, hey?
Yeah.
The indoor action cricket's actually where they play cricket inside. Mostly the people that came there were the coloureds and the black people. Mom actually says that's where my problems, they started there.
I said, you know, Beverly, you always complain about Sabrina with the colours. I said, you have done the worst thing in your life by buying cricket and giving it to Sabrina, knowing that at least 70-80% of your clients is coloureds.
And it was a very, very cool place to hang out. I would say it was like a little getaway for Sabrina, seeing that she wasn't allowed to go anywhere.
We had so much fun there. It was the only place that I could go and relax.
She told me that one day, you know, but she will never go with the white guy or with the coolie guy or with the black guy, but the coloured is the main.
I said to Beverly, there's one chap here I don't like the way him and Sabrina are, like making eyes at each other, that type of thing.
Said to me, Sean, you know, I like you a lot. So I was like, oh, what will the people think? White girl, she's not black.
I caught Sean sleeping with another young, very young girl. And then that's when we broke up. Then a few weeks after that, I ran away from Queenstown to stay in East London.
Bev just freaked out. Where is Sabrina, Janine? And I knew exactly where she was, but I didn't want to say anything.
Ek weet nie wat die kind vir haar maar gesê of Lester of Elester nie. Nee mama, jy weet hoe kom Sabrina se gaan loop, sy spreek net. Ek skrik haar maar.
Mom wanted me to have the abortion and come home.
In front of my social worker, Mrs. Martins, she threatened that she's going to have that pregnancy terminated. And I said to her, she won't do it. She was involved in the first one, and they're not going to do it again.
Beverly didn't have the abortion in Queenstown. She took it
some little place. The mom said, under no circumstances was I allowed to go to Queenstown's hospital. So they booked me into Tarkastad Hospital. And then I went there at night time. It had to be at night.
Her main gripe was Sabrina and her across-the-line friends. And because I wouldn't take a stand against it, I said to her, accept it. The more you stop her, the more she's going to do it. So rather let her do it in front of you than behind your back. My space was limited. Her mother is very domineering. And if she says, no, you're not going to stay in East London, there was no way, without me being outside, that Sabrina would have been able to stay in East London. And Sabrina went back to Queenstown.
Beverly used to actually say that Sabrina was actually mixing around with colours because of what her father did.
I wanted to keep myself a book about my father because nobody had ever told me what had actually happened or what did my father ever do.
I think the media at first made him out to be like a hero, and I think she never ever lost that heroism in her father. She wanted him to be her hero, I'm sure. But I mean, she understood fully what he did.
I've read a lot of newspaper articles where they've called me a serial killer, a mass murderer. I don't agree with that. I was a crime fighter. When I left the police force, I opened my own security company in 1982. You can think for yourself. A school. The alarm goes off at 2 o'clock in the morning. You go in. What do you expect? First of all, why did the alarm go off? There must be a reason for it going off. So you prepare yourself for the worst scenario. Every time you go on a call out, you've got to be awake. You've got to be paraat.
When people know that Van Schoor is patrolling the premises, there won't be any more break-ins.
I was a policeman for 12 and a half years. I joined the police force when I was 16. That was in 1968. We all know what situation our country was in at that stage.
Louis always said, man, I know the law. I used to be inside the court. I know how the magistrate thinks, so I will never get caught.
In 87, 88, I heard that there was an investigation against me. Some people told me I must get out of the business while I can. What for? I haven't done anything wrong. All my cases I reported to the police. All the cases, the police were summoned to attend the crime scenes. I had nothing to hide.
It was 89, and various public pressure groups in East London had become aware of events that were unfolding, wherein people were being shot at point blank range by Louis van Schoor in the course of his business of protecting premises from burglaries. We were based in Grahamstown, where we were running the Legal Resources Centre. The Black Sash told us there was a young fellow lying in hospital who had survived one of these shootings, and would we come and investigate? He was a very small guy. And he had a bullet hole running through his abdomen through to his back. He said he'd been shot at very close range by a large guy with a beard and short trousers. and we reported a charge of attempted murder at the Fleet Street police station in East London.
I did everything according to law. In 1989, I sold my business, I went farming, and I was arrested.
Van Schoor's appearance before Mr. Justice Lionel Malunski is a sequel to an investigation ordered by the Attorney General of the Eastern Cape into a series of deaths resulting from Van Schoor's actions while he was a private security guard.
I presume a lot of people perceive that I'm a violent person. No, I'm not violent. % of the crimes committed at that time were by blacks. I don't believe I was a racist, and I'm not a racist now.
Dad says it was his work. Other people say it was racism. Other people say he was doing it for fun.
At no stage were those murders planned. They were all in the line of duty.
Former policeman and security guard 39-year-old Sabrina Louis van Schoor has been found guilty in the East London Supreme Court on 7 counts of murder and 2 of attempted murder. Initially, the accused faced a total of 43 charges, 19 of murder, 21 of attempted murder and 3 of assault. During the 8-month trial, the state withdrew 11 of the attempted murder charges and dropped all the assault charges.
Everybody knew who Louis van Schoor was, you know, he'll get the man, that kind of thing. But then I think once the court case started and he was sent to jail, then everybody changed their opinions of him, and, you know, some people were still for him and some were totally against him.
It was 91 years, but concurrently it came up to 20 years.
I wasn't allowed to visit him because Mom said it would have an impact on me.
She'd be sitting and she'd sit exactly like her father would sit. And we'd say, Sabrina, sit properly. Because her father always used to sit, oh, he had a horrible way of sitting. And, you know, Bev and I would look at each other and think, geez, you know, it was like scary that she would sit exactly like him.
She always used to tell me that she's a daddy's girl, you know.
When I was a little girl, I used to dream of getting my father back because my father had obviously gone away from me and I never knew why he'd gone away. I used to dream of us moving to a house, a little castle where Mom would be, Dad would be there.
It was my first daughter and she's special to me.
My life started on the 8th of November 1979, born in East London Hospital. I'm the only one born to my mom and dad. The other are my half-brothers, Hester, Alistair and Shane.
She was a nurse and I was a policeman. And I don't know, somehow we just met.
Her life was maybe not as exciting as what she would have liked it to have been. Then when she met Louis, he offered her the world and he was going to take overseas, he was going to buy this and everything. And I think that was like really a drawing card for her.
The boys stayed with her, obviously, and after a while they asked me if I wanted to adopt them.
So they became Van Schoors.
I know Beverly's boys and Sabrina was petrified of Louis. They were petrified of Louis because when Louis spoke, they used to obey him so instantly.
And I think all 3 of us were there at one time as when he was all showing us his gun and how to use it and all the rest. And he said, if you want to shoot a chap and you want to kill him, you shoot just above his right shoulder and you'll shoot him straight in the back. So I remember that.
It was a great family. It's just domineering, possessiveness and that type of thing, it just got too much. And I walked out. Well, not walked out, but I called it quits and we divorced.
We were very young at that stage, when this all transpired. We were very, very young. But I can recall incidents, I can recall running around.
Those big eyes and the stitches all over.
Yeah, I can recall running around cars, My mom in front, him chasing after her type of thing. I can recall things like it. I was very young.
Man, you should have seen what Beverly looked like. You should have seen.
Bev realized the only way she can hurt me was through my kids.
When I was 3 years old, not knowing what was going on around me, except heartache and pain, my mom and dad getting a divorce. My mom fled from East London with her 4 children to Queenstown. We first stayed in Red Guard security when we moved to Queenstown because we didn't have any place to stay. Since then, Mom built the company up herself.
Midnight, Bev and I would jump in the car and go right around Queenstown, see if all the security guards are working or if they're sleeping. Yeah, it was actually quite nice.
She used to work hard. Some nights you might not even see her because she was actually working so hard, and that was just to make a living for us.
When we stayed in Red Guard security, the man that worked for Mom, he raped me when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I was molested and abused by my cousin who lived behind us and my mother's boyfriend at the time who passed away. I tried to tell her and Mom said to me that she's too busy, she can't talk to me.
So sy kom by die skool, Sabrina, ek soek hom, waar sy? Sy slaap daar in my kamer, op die bed. Toe vra ek, hoekom Sabrina jy slaap hier so? Toe sê Sabrina, jy is my ma mos kledis, ek moet hier slaap.
Growing up being a van Schoor was hard. The young black girls that I was at school with, they used to make comments and rude remarks, and then my mom went to go and see the headmistress, and the headmistress spoke to the girls. My brothers had a lot of power in school, so then they started becoming scared of me because I was a van Schoor. And then when I left school, if you're van Schoor, you've got power, you've got wealth, you've got everything. Mom decided, as soon as my brothers were all finished school, she would give them the company. And Mom just withdrew herself totally out of Red Guard.
You must actually take a drive out to that farm of theirs.
Beverly het ek ontmoet in Oost-London al, terwyl ek en Louis van Schoor saamgewerk het. Hy was 'n hondeman, ek was 'n hondeman. En dit is waar ek haar die eerste keer ontmoet het. Nadat sy geskei is, het ons baie dae gaan koffie drink en goeters. Looks fun, it was actually nice. Baie lekker in die buite. Daar's nog ons ou bord, maar die son het hom bietjie verweer. Horizons, even daar nie, skal aan dit.
There was 2 big houses right next to each other. Bev, Sabrina, and Donnie stayed in the one house, and the 3 boys in the house right next door.
But this thing was full of flowers, all of this. Flowers all over. That palm tree has also been planted. Beverly bought them and we planted them. It was full of kois. The pump, the motor was there, but I don't know. The swimming pool was working. Het was baie lekker geweest, die plaas was baie rustig geweest. Die 8 jaar dat ons daar gebly het, was daar nooit 'n inbraak nie, nie 'n skaap gesteel nie. niks, dit was baie rustig geweest en dit was baie lekker geweest. As I said, there was more safe here in town.
And there's murders and farm murders.
Oh, no, but it happens in town. It happens all over.
Johnny and I didn't get along well. He said to me, your father doesn't even want to be your father. So I said to him, well, I don't want you to be my father.
This was the main bedroom here, where Beverly slept, yeah.
And then we had a big argument, and then the following day I went to my mum and I said to my mum, if he doesn't go, I'm going. And he went and lived in the caravan.
Sabrina het my weggedryf uit daai huis uit. Alhoewel ek en Beverly elke dag saam was.
All I wanted from my mum was love. And my mum couldn't give me love. She could give Donnie love, but she couldn't give me love.
Sabrina het eerste gekom in alles. En dan mag niks iets vir haar gesê gewees het nie, niks. Sabrina was altyd eerste gesit. En ja, dis reg, is haar kind. Ek het nie 'n probleem daarmee gehad nie.
To say for Danny, for Bev, Sabrina, say wholesome in the whatnot.
Beverly goes to Queenstown as a nobody and she becomes a business lady. And then all of a sudden, she mixes now with the big boys, you know, all the big society people in Queenstown. She's now friends with her. And when they drive past Bev, they hoot and they wave to her, so she's now part of the elite in that, you see. Not that she is a racist, but how is she going to now walk around town with a pitch black baby in her arms?
The day that Tatum was born, Bev phoned me from the delivery room and she said to me, she's a white little baby. And she was very, very happy. But we could see that she wasn't really a white little girl. You could see she had this beautiful color complexion, really, really pretty color complexion. And Bev would always say to me, you can see she's white, hey? She's a white little girl. And I just used to say, yes, she's a little white girl.
And I said, no, I'm going to tattoo Tatum's name here. So I did. I said, no, this is my first child. And she's on my right arm.
Sabrina lied a lot. She really, really lied a lot. She would look you in your face and she would tell you a story. And you'd believe her and you'd think, wow, you know, and it was the biggest lot of bull under the sun. With this action cricket, Sabrina was coming home all hours of the night. Bev said she's going to tell Sabrina if she wants to go, she can go. But Tatum's going to stay behind. She's going to look after Tatum.
She threatened me. If I left home, she'd keep the baby and she'd cut my inheritance. And she would make sure the welfare knew that I beat my daughter and did this and that. And then I decided, okay, well, I'm not leaving my child because my child's not going to grow up the way I did. Then we stayed at home.
Sabrina said, "Ti khawar or dai kenti." So Sarma said, "Si da bi di isni." Ye le dag Sabrina se maak nie die nepie die kind al se moet hom droog maak. Sy los hom net so. Toe sê Arma, nee Sabrina, die kind jy moet hom nie so maak nie. Dis hoekom die boot van die kind is rou.
Then in front of people, Mom would love the baby to bits. But at home, if she was stressed or if she fought with Uncle Donnie or something, she would end up taking it out on me or Tatum.
Sy het gesokol Sabrina nie. Is Arma se hy kind gesokol.
Something in Mom would also snap. You know, if she has to think back and think, okay, but her father's not white or something. Especially with Tatum's hair. If you'll see in all of Tatum's photographs, her hair's always pulled back. Her hair's never loose. Because Mom doesn't want them to know that she's actually coloured. That was taken the month before Mom was murdered. You'd be surprised. We'd actually been fighting 5 minutes before their photo was taken.
Beverly het op 'n stadium besluit, nee, die plaas kos haar miskien te veel, dat ons maar liewers moet verkoop en klaak in trek daar. Maar ek sal sê sy was veiliger daar gewees as wat sy in die dorp was.
Sabrina used to have this whole mission. The whole of Queenstown almost knew it about the colored guys, and so can you please do this thing for me, then I'll pay you this money.
I would often say to people, oh, One of these days I'm going to kill that woman. And I always used to say that, but not meaning it.
I said, Sabrina, you're already 21, you're 22 now, and I mean, you can move out. She said, no, Mom won't let it go out. So are you going to go through this pain and everything? She said, what must I do? I said, I just gave you an idea what to do. Move out.
Mom and I had our first big fight, and that's when Gino came to me and I said to him, okay.
I don't know how she got sort of getting after me, like to do this thing, because there was a whole story when I just came from Joburg that I was this big card thief or organized crime or something that people called me.
For 2 weeks he couldn't do anything. He couldn't get into the house, he couldn't get close to Mom.
Sy was verskriklik op haar seun gewees en dis nie so ek haar geken het nie.
And then I'd always say to her, Mom, it's your imagination. You know how bad things are in Queenstown at the moment, just leave them.
This guy Fez used to be a friend of mine. So then this one day was with me, and then Sabrina was phoning all the time, and he asked me what was going on. I told him no, that this woman wanted to do this crazy thing.
Njengoba iphumile emotweni sathetha sobabili mangixelele bokhe lifikile ixesha lomsebenzi, ixesha uba ndisebenze. Phela mbuzo uba ngumqeshi wenu ngumsebenzi onjalo, wangixelele uba no, ukhona umuntu ofuneka ebulewe.
Feza and Sabrina met for the first time at night before the thing happened.
Sy is vermoor op 'n Vrydag. Die Donderdag was 'n vakansiedag.
They just popped in for tea in the afternoon at my house.
My brothers even said to me that it felt as if it was a way Mom was coming to say goodbye because she knew something was going to happen.
I'm actually grateful for that time, I must be very honest. The memories that I have of my mom, that's from that day.
Yeah, ndambuza uba ndizifumana ntoni emveni kwako Sabrina wandithembisa nge-200,000 rand.
I was supposed to pay Gino 150,000 rand. And then I don't know what Gino was going to pay Feza. Then the following morning, Gino called me and I met them at the graveyard. And that's when Feza came with me to the house.
Where was the knife, Shane? It wasn't in this cupboard, no? No, it was there. Oh, there.
Hey, ndithatha isikhipha somntwana semntwana ngasabrina ndasithwala intloko ndaya ekitchen ndathatha i-bread knife eyi-tree.
And I went through to Mom's bedroom and Tatum was lying on the bed.
She always did her makeup on the bed, always. She still had her makeup mirror in her hand.
Feza was standing here. And then Sabrina went into the bedroom there.
I thought to myself, okay, I know what's going to happen. I can't stop what's going to happen. So at least let me try and say something nice to Mom.
Can I go in here, Shane?
Excuse that message, the shower doors and shit hanging with it.
So as I was starting to say I'm sorry to my mom and everything, my mom just shot off at me.
And Sabrina came in, took Tatum, and she and the mother had a quarrel here.
She said to me that I'd been whoring around the night before and I'd been whoring around this morning. Why can't I just stop sleeping with people? Why can't I stop being a slut in Queenstown?
She was asking, what is this man doing in the house so early in the morning?
I said to her, listen, I don't have time for your rubbish. I'm taking my child and I'm leaving. Then I took Tatum off the bed and I went to my bedroom. That's when Feza passed me and he went into Mom's bedroom. I put my TV on.
She came out, she was standing here and she was asking Feza, is she dead?
He said to me, it's finished. And I said to him, are you sure he's dead? She's dead? And he said to me, yes.
I was a captain in the Armoured Corps and I served in Angola and I saw things, and nothing is like the morning that I saw Bev.
To say, Danny, let us come. To say, ek moet hy bloed gaan skoonmaak daarso. Toe vra sy, die bloedklette sy gaan uit van die warm water. Ek sê nee, ons moet die koue water vat.
People can't expect or to even imagine how we feel after going through something like this. I mean, Sabrina was a case of like right after day 1 or 2 when we had found out that she was involved. She was trying to find out, listen, are we still family, you know, are you still going to visit me, are you going to this, are you going to that? I mean, she wasn't even like giving us sort of an opportunity to deal with our emotions.
Nothing can justify a murder. Nothing. Okay. Now you're looking at me and you're probably thinking, yes, but in the line of your duty. Different situation. Okay. But to cold-bloodedly go out and plan to murder somebody, nothing justifies that.
Queenstown murder accused Sabrina van Schoor has told the court that rejection of her friends by her so-called racist mother had driven her to arrange her mother's contract killing.
I haven't got words to describe to you. It was heartbreaking.
An Eastern Cape woman who hired 2 men to murder her mother because she disapproved of her black friends will be sentenced in the Grahamstown High Court today.
When we heard he wasn't arrested, we knew he was going to turn state witness.
I was driving about several cars already and I'm not working, I'm not employed. The cars I'm driving around is through my mother, through the money that my father left for us. And now the people are trying to say that they're actually saying that it's some Van Schoor's money that I'm busy using.
The court found that missing funds from her mother's business at the time of the killing were connected to the crime.
I was charged for 148,000. That's how much was missing.
The state proposed to call Alistair van Schoor. We had discussed that we would have a meeting at 9 o'clock on the 22nd of March.
That meeting was planned for that day that Mom was murdered. It was going to be at 9 o'clock that day.
And you don't know where that 148,000 is?
I don't know where it is. The fraud case against me was dropped because there was no evidence to prove that I'd taken the money.
But Feza was also very much stupid. How can you go and kill somebody when you have not received the money? You must get the money first.
And futhi unobangela wayo yonke le nto aphinde abe ngaphandle yabona le nto le utshilo.
Van Schoor, you arranged the assassination of your own mother, the person who bore you into this world, and with whom you shared your home, and who loved you, and who cherished your young daughter, who was at the time that you had your mother killed only some 18 months old.
Tatum's in a foster care family and she'll stay there until we decide after. Is she happy? Very happy.
Sy het baie gehuil daai dag. Ek het nie geslaapie. Sy het geweet haar ma, sy het geweet van haar ouma.
She said one day, "Did I grow under your belly button?" So I said, "No." She said, "Oh, whose?" I said, "Sabrina." She said, "Oh, yes, now I remember." And the next day she's playing with the toy. She said, "So, you're not my mother then, are you?" So I said, "Of course I'm your mother. I'm definitely your mother. Who feeds you every day? Who clothes you? Who loves you?" Sabrina's her birth mother. So she's got two mothers.
I just can't wait for Dad to get up.
Now, did you not have any other alternative other than what you have done?
I didn't see any other alternative. I still miss my mother. I still love my mother.
She liberated herself. I was not lying when I was saying in court that Sabrina is supposed to be given an award. Take what Sabrina's father have done to our people, to the black people. Take her mother. Sabrina said that her mother was a racist. Her family is running the show here at Queenstown. They've got security guards and all sorts of things. But that family knew nothing about pain. Alle lewe was net baie lekker geweest. Wat het die pa gemaak? Niks. Hy het mos die kafers doodgemaak. But I'm saying thanks God, nobody from outside have done that. It have been done by their own blood and flesh. Maybe now they can feel the pain. Maybe tomorrow they will be very good people.
In handing down sentence in the Grahamstown High Court this afternoon, Judge Eric Leach said the murder of Van Schoor was a most distressing crime.
Finished.
Sabrina Van Schoor, for the murder of your mother, you are sentenced to 25 years in prison.
25 years isn't even enough. Not for what she did.
It's just like unheard of that your family would do something like that.
When the judge said 25 years, I said to myself, it's better than life. At least I know I'm not going to die here. It's a medium A. I'm a medium C. It's actually very funny because my whole life I've been kept so far away from my dad. All of a sudden something so bad has actually brought me so much closer to my dad.
It'll all work out together.
We've had squares, I like it. Yes, thanks. We've been reunited in a way. And now I might just be a few footsteps away from him. But I tell you that we are so close now that nothing can break us away. I thought, okay, if I can't become one of them, let me act like one of them. So I learned the language, I can do my hair like them, I can dress like them. It's just that the wife will always be there. But inside I'm still one of them. Van Schoor, so you sit up straight. Van Schoor, so you think black hate. Van Schoor as I lick my wounds. Abused, Van Schoor. Coloured mates, Van Schoor. Black mates, Van Schoor. Van Schoor in the papers, he hated blacks. Van Schoor in the papers, she loved blacks. Van Schoor, the love-hate dichotomy. Van Schoor, I lie awake at night. Van Schoor, I watch my bloody hands each time. Van Schoor, I shed a tear for me. Van Schoor, I see my mother's corpse. Van Schoor, Van Schoor, Van Schoor. Where do you gather your strength? Van Schoor, because these bars can never blind me. This is my bed. And Tatum gave it to me. Then Tatum's photograph and her name, what it means. Friends know that Tatum Jade can be called on in a crisis. Travel and leisure, a person well suited to new lands and new faces.
Where do you break it and say, you can have a new start? And that Tatum can say, I am Tatum van Schoor. It doesn't matter what society says of me, what bracket they put me in, whether I have a coloured father, a white mother, whatever my family do, I'd rather not mention in front of her.
Hoekom sê die vir my daai kind gegee? Sy moet hier by my kom bly. Of sy kan die plek soek of ek moet daar gaan bly saam met Sabrina se kind. Sy het niks meer gegee, net daai man se geld vir my gegee. Sy het nie gewaarig nie, niks.
I personally would like to apologize for any harm or hurt I caused people. 12 years out of my life has been cut away. Something I can't get back. But I accept it. I've got a chance to start over now. All I'm asking now is give me a chance to see if I've improved, if I'm a better person. Because I believe I'm not the same person that I was in 92 when I came here. My conscience is clear. At the end of the day, I'd like to have my granddaughter, yes.
I don't dream about killing Mom, but a lot of the times what happens is I will be dreaming about Mom, and then all of a sudden I can vision the way Feza said that she'd been lying or what he'd done to her. And then I would just dream about the way I saw her when I walked into the bedroom with all the blood around her and everything. And then I'd wake up. All those times you dried my tears, all those times in all those years, I never said thank you, Mom. All those times you have forgiven me for doing wrong and always making me feel strong, I never said thank you, Mom. Now that you're gone, I thank God for you and for making my life as happy and as beautiful as could be with you. Thank you, Mom, for all you were to me. I love you.